Okay, so the first thing that I'm always gonna do when I'm trying to decide what I want to make one of these other type of reels is I'm gonna look for a template. And sometimes they give me inspiration to make something entirely brand new. But in this case, I'm using that program Vids, and you won't hear the beat on this just like you didn't in the other video. You'll only hear it in the finished product because if I do it um, here, if I don't mute that clip, it's going to get a copyright strike, and I'm going to explain how we're going to not get a copyright strike on YouTube, just like I did in my other video. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to try this video here because I want to use it for something else as well that I'm going to show you guys in a future video. So this requires 25 pieces of media, and so some of them are similar and maybe broken up, but we're going to get 25 pieces of media here of this car that we have in the shop. We haven't even prepped it yet, but I'm just going to do it for an example. I'm going to get 25 pieces of media, and I'm going to show you how to stitch it together and create a pretty cool reel. Okay, so we're back in the Vids app, and you saw me initially pick out the template that I wanted to use, and then you saw me in a time lapse just filming some clips. First things first, I'm not affiliated with this app. It's just a convenient starting point that I found. If anybody has one that's similar, I'd like to see it. I think Story Beats is another one. I have no affiliation with these. So you saw me time lapse filming, you know, like I said in the very first video, it's better if you're filming stuff um, that's your own like work, like you're working on something versus just a finished product. But sometimes that's not entirely possible. So a lot of these templates, they're like 10 or 9 media files. This one that I picked is actually 25 media files. And I did that for a future video because I wanted it to be longer, and I want to show you a future video of editing it more manually in CapCut, almost turning it into an advertisement. So I'm going to show you how this works. So we're going to go into this template, and you see it's got 25, it's 12 seconds long, 25 media, 12 seconds long. And you're not going to actually hear the beat on this until the following video. And why is that? It's because, like I described in a previous video, the audio that's embedded in this is available on YouTube under the shorts section that isn't copyrighted, but if I just simply export this and get a beat from this, it's going to give me a copyright strike. Now you can agree or not agree with that, but that's why you can't hear it in this, because I have this clip muted just like I did in another video. That way I don't get a copyright strike. That way this video can be monetized. All right, so we're going to use the template here, and you got a bunch of videos. So let's see. We'll start with, and you can like rearrange these as you see fit. So these are all the stuff that, that I had that you saw me doing a time lapse on. And I would always put your most compelling. Now, none of these are like, I'll be honest with you, like none of these are like super awesome and compelling clips. We'll see how it actually turns out. You're going to find out with me. Um, but you typically, we want you to put your most compelling clips first. And the reason we want the most compelling clips first is because you only have a few seconds to catch the hook. All right, to hook them. I need 2 more videos. So, all right, so let's see what this comes up with. All right, so All right, so I'm gonna explain a couple things here. So one of the longer clips, this one's 4 seconds, this one's 5 seconds. So what I'm gonna do with this one, this 5 second clip, I'm gonna replace it with the one of my logo. It was kind of cut off in the first part. So it can be hard to kind of keep track though of which clip is which. But you see you can sort of watch how I'm going to do this. We're going to adjust these clips so that we pick what we want the clip to show. Yes. A little self-promotion in here, of course. And we want that, right? This is branding in a sense. And sometimes it's okay if something that you would want is maybe a little short, especially on these, because there's a chance that somebody might rewatch the clip to get an idea. Sometimes it just takes some effort. I'm not going to do a ton of like tweaking in this just because I kind of want to. I'm just showing the process, not necessarily the. It's not super important that we. It's not, sorry, it's not super important that we have this like perfect finished product. So the last one, I don't like that BMW gets kind of cut, so we're going to do this. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to save it. It's all pretty straightforward. Of course, you can edit it further in CapCut, but that's another video in the future. This is like this would be great if, for example, hey, I need to post a reel today because you should be posting consistently, right? And you decide like, okay, well, I'm going to post this reel, but I was like working all day and I didn't have a ton of time to film like I did on the other video where I showed you like filming myself working. So this is better for this. I do a mix of all those. Even though like working videos is better, that doesn't mean that that's the only type of reel that I post. So tall, I could give a high five to the pilot. All right, so I'm just going to save this to my camera roll. And then I'm going to go in here. It's another app I have. It's not really super important what type of app it is, but you can use CapCut. This is InShot Pro. There you go, favorites. I have my logo here. So I want to add my logo to the end of it. Now, what I'm going to do here, scoot this up. I'm going to shrink it a little bit, and that's because the bottom part of the screen gets cut off in some social media reshares, as well as the sides. We want to kick it up above the like and the heart and all that stuff. So now we have that. Now we're going to render this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go find the music. And then when I upload it to YouTube, I'm going to find the correct starting point. And I'll show you what I mean. Because we're going to use YouTube's music. We're not going to use the app's music. Even though it's the same exact music, YouTube recognizes that it wasn't added in the upload process, and it will flag it for copyright, which just means that you can't be monetized. We don't want that. We want to be monetized. It says something. I'm sure it says in the. All right, so it's Connor Price Visa Killa Violet. And so that's important to know, right? So now I'm gonna upload Now, this song, even though you can't hear it, this has embedded music. We don't want that. For a couple of reasons. One, the copyright thing I mentioned, and two, I want the music to keep playing once my logo appears. Right now, it would stop. Like, there's no music playing right now. You wouldn't know that, but. So let's see. It's pretty close. And then we're going to turn down the original song. It's pretty close. Let's see if I'm going to let it play again. Nah, it's a little off. All right. All right. So you're going to have to trust my word for it. I'm gonna mess with this and you'll see the final product. So just watch the video that's recommended after this and you'll see that it's correct.